It's been about like 17 minutes now since you're no longer the acting head coach. I was wondering, getting through these first 3 games, getting a win like this, what did it mean to you personally, and of course the signature win going back to normal on Monday?
Yeah, I really haven't thought about that, more about this team and what they just went through, getting through this game, the way that it went down. We knew there was going to be ebbs and flows in a game like this. We talked about how everything's not going to go perfect. There were times in the 2 weeks previously where things really went well for us, and we knew that there were going to be times we hit adversity and that we have to stick together in times like that. I thought we did, and then we really turned the momentum in the third quarter there. I think we had 20 points in a short period of time, and so I thought that was the big difference in the game.
Right, but for you personally, going back now to what should be normal, to give the keys back to Urban and doing what you did, I mean, can you just tell me what it feels like to get through this challenge 3-0, to get a signature win without him, and what it means for you personally? Because this is a big thing in your life, I think.
I appreciate you saying that, but we're just so excited to get Coach back next week, and obviously the culture that he's built here is amazing, and the foundation that he's built here, and that's what got us through these first 3 games and through preseason, and the players that have been recruited here and the coaches that are here have kept this thing going, and so just humbled to be part of such a great tradition. I mean, even being here today and seeing all the Ohio State people who are here that traveled to Dallas for this game was amazing. Walking out, I looked around, I couldn't believe all the people traveled. So again, just honored to be part of it.
Over here to the right, Tim.
Ryan, when you look back over the past 2 months, just how would you assess yourself?
I haven't really had a chance to sit back and think about that, to be honest with you. Just trying to get the quarterbacks better, trying to help the offense the best we can, and then when Coach isn't here, keeping the thing going. And so obviously we get him back tomorrow and fired up about that. Our goal was to get 3-0, and so that when Coach got back, he had a team that was 3-0, and so that goal was accomplished, but we got a lot ahead of us.
And then Dwayne hadn't really faced pressure like he faced today from a defense. How would you assess his play?
Dwayne's? Yeah. This was a test to see kind of where he was at. I thought he passed. There were a couple times he scrambled, took a shot. He scored on the pull down in the red zone, took a couple hits on a couple sacks early in the game, hung in there, made some big throws, and again, worked through some adversity along the way.
Over to the left, Clay.
Ryan, was there one touchdown bigger than the other in that 20-point spurt in 4 minutes?
I would say, the defensive score was the biggest one. I mean, anytime you play in a game like this and you can win the turnover battle, that's our plan to win. We didn't turn the ball over, and we got 3 turnovers, 2 of them for scores. Huge. But that swing right there, we were kind of trying to find our way a little bit. It's a 2nd and long. We hit the screen to Paris. Paris comes out the back end. We get the turnover by Draymond, get the ball back, and then hit the ball for KJ. So it went fast right there, and that's what the game, I think, turned.
Do you have any update on Nick Bosa?
I don't. Right? They're evaluating what's going on. Yeah.
Over to the right here, Rob.
Ryan, coaches like to say, over here. Coaches like to say players need to make plays. How much comfort do you take, even in the 3 games that you coach, that you have so many weapons, and a guy like Draymond, these guys can just make plays for you?
It goes to the talent level and the guys that have been recruited here. And this is not something that happens overnight. Coach Meyer and the whole staff have worked for years to recruit the type of player that comes here, and we do. We have a ton of playmakers on defense. The guys rushing the passer, the guys in the back end making plays. To get defensive scores like that's huge. The guys on offense, we have a lot of weapons. So very talented team that took a lot of hard work to put together.
Front row left, Austin.
Ryan, I'm sure that you all were as surprised as we were to see Austin Mack put so many balls on the ground. Did you guys have to say something? Did you consider taking him out of the game at any point? How do you manage a situation like that where it was so uncharacteristic for him?
Yeah, I mean, Austin's usually a reliable guy, and the big thing we talked about going into the game was that, you heard the guys talk about it, that this was going to be a fight. And then when you go into a fight, sometimes you get hit. And when you get hit, you can't flinch. And so we didn't flinch. We kept putting Austin back in there. And then he dropped one, and then he came back and he made a catch. Then he made another catch. And so we believe in our guys. We know what we see every day in practice. We trust that, some days, guys are going to maybe put one on the ground. We don't like that, but we believe in our guys. And when things don't go well, we got to stick together.
Over here to the back, Steve.
Coach Steve Hellwagon with Bucknuts 24/7. You've been around football a long time, and this team has some big aspirations this season, ranked pretty highly and everything. Just how important And what kind of growth do you think this team will get out of being in a situation down 8 points in the third quarter? It's going to come up again at some point. How will this serve them going forward, this test?
It gives you some precedence moving forward. You know, you can always go back on this and show that when things don't go well, we can stick together. That when we hit adversity, we can work our way through it. You know, and that's always a question. You know, when you go up against somebody like TCU, a really well-coached team, really talented team. I think that's a really good team we just played. And, you know, we get in a tough spot where we're down. How are you going to respond? And you really don't know that. You practice every day. You think you know how you're going to respond. But to see how the guys respond today gives us something to look back on.
Ryan, Tim May, Columbus Dispatch. We finally see Dwayne Haskins Jr. keep on an option. Is there more of that to come, do you think? I mean, just what was your feel for that call at that moment?
Yeah, you know, Kevin came up in the box. He said that 2 plays earlier we called the play where the fullback came across and crunched the defensive end. And he said he was coming down real hard, and so you know, Kevin says if we call the play where he can read the guy, that we got a chance to hit it, and he was exactly right. He was right on the money. The timing was right, and so he pulled it, he read it, and then Rashad came around and led the way. Big play in the game, and you know, Dwayne, you know, can beat you with his feet. You know, and that's a part of his game. You know, it's not the biggest part of his game, but it is part of his game.
We got time for 2 more for Coach over here. Bill, to the left.
Ryan, I know you have a lot of talent at receiver, but KJ Hill had that toe tap catch on the sideline, did that touchdown late. Just what does he bring to your passing offense with his skill set?
Reliability, a guy who is going to be where you expect him to be. He catches the ball, runs really good routes. You know, he's a clutch player too. You know, when you need him, he's there. Hard worker and very talented.
Over here to the right, Pat.
Ryan, Pat 40 from Yahoo Sports. I'm just wondering how much pressure you felt being thrust into this position, and now if you're coming out the back end, you feel relief.
I do feel a little bit of relief right now after that game, and you know, the past few weeks. But I got so much help from these players and from the coaching staff. Kevin Wilson and Greg Schiano. What Greg Schiano's done for me in the last month is something I'll never forget. He is the classiest person I've ever been around the coaching profession, the way he's handled himself, helping me along the way, counseling me on day-to-day stuff. And then just the way that, you know, that defense played today, I couldn't have been happier for him and that defense. So, yeah, a little bit of relief, but still got a long way to go here.
And finally, last question for Coach Doug.
Ryan, will you consider retiring with an undefeated record?
Sure.
Coach, thank you very much. Folks, we're going to open up questions.